Super Bowl 60 is finally here between the Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots. Right now, Vegas has the lines at Seattle as a 4.5 point favorite. Guys, what do you think is the key to the game for Seattle to win this? And then what is the key to the game for New England to win this?
The key to the game for Seattle is to just play the brand of football you play. Let the dark side defense, whatever they call that, let them suffocate the way they've suffocated every other team they've played, really, other than the Rams. Let your offense just cook the way it has cooked everybody else. Just play the football you've played all season, and you will cruise. For the Patriots, I mean, let Drake May prove that he deserved the MVP. He has had some really good flashes this year. Granted, it is against a lot softer schedule than really pretty much anybody else in the league really had. But if Drake May can do some of the things that we've seen him do this season, and that offense can figure out how to move the ball on this Seattle defense, if the Patriots offense can score, if the Patriots offense can somehow make this a shootout, I do like the Patriots' chance.
Co-signing on the Seahawks, playing Seahawks football. They have been the most, unfortunately, the most impressive team consistently, I guess, all season. And really, some of their games you could make a couple changes to them, and the result goes the other way in terms of the ones that they've lost. I mean, heck, it took Jake Tunges to make an unbelievable catch in the back of the end zone in Seattle in week 1 for the 49ers to walk away with a win there. So, like, the Seahawks have always been they've always been competitive, and, like, I was in denial this entire season that they were a legit team, and here they are still not punching, knocking people out, and just suffocating them is a great term that Braden used earlier on how their defense plays. Like that, it's been very rare that you see an NFL team and an NFL defense that like plays such a suffocating way of like game planning for their opponents that like you watch 1 to maybe 2 drives as a fan cheering against the Seahawks, and you're like, there's nothing that my team can do to like adjust to really like get back in this game, compete or whatever, because Seattle like expects that, and then they make the adjustments for that, and then you're back in the same situation. This team's been really good. It would be kind of cool to see Sam Darnold win a Super Bowl. One of the better stories maybe in NFL history in terms of like it's not the same level of like Kurt Warner, who was like stocking groceries at Hy-Vee playing arena football, got signed, wins Super Bowl, but like this guy got torn down by media people for so long during his time in New York. And then he goes over to Carolina, if I remember right after. I think he got benched at one point, right? He didn't even finish that time there. Then goes to Minnesota, gets the opportunity to play, proves himself. Even then, the conversation was, should Minnesota re-sign him? The media still said no. Like, why? Like, it's Sam Darnold at the end of the day. That was pretty much their argument, was it's Sam Darnold. Which, given his history and his play, there is an argument to make that, like, yes, Sam Darnold has those situations where he just doesn't show up and plays really bad football. But this season, he's played really well at a consistent level, too. And so it'd be kind of cool to see him win a Super Bowl. But, yeah, Seattle playing, Seattle Seahawk football. And for the Patriots, really the only way I see them winning is if Drake May fully introduces himself to the world, not just like hardcore NFL fans, as one of the future superstars of the quarterback position. this game is so underwhelming in terms of like the star play at the quarterback position this year. And it's a little bit because not many people know who Drake May is. Not many people really care about Sam Darnold. Everybody's expecting Patrick Mahomes, Jalen. Like if you look at the last couple, the Super Bowls for honestly a couple decades now, Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Russell Wilson, like all those names are pretty big, borderline Hall of Famers, depending on how some of their careers pan out with some of them. I'm not.
Hold on a minute. There may be a polar bear in Arlington, Texas, in that statement you were talking.
Are you talking about Russell Wilson?
No, you said Jalen Hurts, borderline Hall of Famer.
If he wins if they somehow, the Eagles are in the situation that the Chiefs were in after they lost to the Buccaneers, dude. Everybody's doubting them and counting them out, and then
okay, flag on the play.
Patrick Mahomes at least was still
he won an MVP. Hurts is not the same stratosphere as Mahomes was.
I get that.
Okay.
I get that. I think that they're going to have a big roster change at some of their offensive key positions. And I still think that he could have a career that could lead to a Super Bowl, depending on how it goes. Russell Wilson's not a Hall of Famer, in my opinion. So, but that's why I'm saying, like, names that, like, when they were in those games, people were like, these guys could be Hall of Famers when all is said and done. Russell Wilson at one point, wasn't that year 2 of his career? And people were like, good Lord, how many more times is he going to go to the Super Bowl? The Eagles, when they made all these appearances in the last couple of years, it's like, geez, how many more times can this team make it? And how many more times? I know that everybody hates the tush push, but like stats at the end of the day does contribute to your Hall of Fame candidacy. And Jalen Hurts is going to have a lot of rushing touchdowns by the time he's done playing, depending on how many more times this offense is able to get away with this tush push thing. Again, by no means that Russell Wilson and Jalen Hurts are on the same level as Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Ben Roethlisberger. I'm trying to think of a quarterback from every matchup in the last decade or whatever. I think I may have actually done that right there. Matthew Stafford, like there. I've fulfilled the entire demographic of the last 20 years of the Super Bowl, basically. But getting back to what I was saying, Drake May needs to fully introduce himself to the entire world that he is a top 5, top 3 potential face of the NFL for future years, because that's the only way I see the Patriots winning. Because again, you got to find a way to dismantle the Seahawks defense, and I've yet to see it. And the thing that scares me is the Patriots really haven't played anybody this year that with a pulse as much as the Seahawks have. Seahawks have had to play some of these teams multiple times. And so, and you look at their paths to the Super Bowl. I mean, like the Patriots got CJ Stroud playing literally the worst football ever. Then they got the Broncos without Bo Nix. Not saying that Bo Nix single-handedly would have led them to a Super Bowl, but they were also a fingertip away, I think, from the game being tied from a field goal that was tipped by one of their defensive linemen. And then the Seahawks, they played better competition, but also very injured as well. But like, I'd still take the Seahawks route over the Patriots in terms of impressiveness. So, Drake May needs to be everybody's calling him the next Tom Brady for the Patriots. So you might as well just fully embrace that and improve it. Even though you really look at Tom Brady's stats in the Super Bowl, not impressive for some of those games. Sorry, long ramble.
No, you're good. You're good.
We took a couple paths to get there, but we got there.
Yeah, I didn't. Now I feel like people are going to take that the wrong way. I'm not saying Jalen Hurts retires today. He's a Hall of Famer. I
That's not what
apologize if
I heard.
I
That's not
That's
apologize.
not what the power of editing says. You said, buddy.
Yeah.
No, if he retired today, he would not be a Hall of Famer.
But if he retired tomorrow, maybe.
Then I'd think about it. Then I'd give him the Eli Manning treatment where I might think about it.
Oh, dude, he's a Hall of Famer. In
Oh,
my
over
eyes,
Jalen Hurts, without a
he's
doubt.
just objective Hall of Famer. Dude, 1 second. Eli Manning is the reason Tom Brady doesn't have 9 Super Bowls, and I am thankful for that every single day.
Or is it
Like, we need to respect that. 9 Super Bowls for one player is too many. 7 is even pushing it. But, like, 9?
LeBron fan.
Dude, I don't want to hear that right now. We're not talking. This is a football podcast. It's not a basketball podcast. I'm just kidding. But you get what I'm saying?
Yes,
like,
I get it.
we're-
Yeah.
It's
I just
crazy.
have a hard time. See, that's why I wish I wouldn't have said Jalen Hurts. And again, it was just me trying to think of quarterbacks the last couple decades. Because I don't think he's even remotely close to Eli Manning. Nor do I think Eli Manning is really a lock for the Hall of Fame, personally. But
yeah.
But again, then that also goes into you can make, if he's not a bona fide Hall of Famer, you can make a lot of cases for a lot of players who are just stat people that aren't Hall of Famers either, that are sitting and waiting with Eli. And so that's a different conversation that we don't
We need to have a Hall of Fame episode this offseason when it gets slow.
Yeah. Hall of Fame or not kind of thing.
Yeah. You guys nailed it with Seattle. Seattle doesn't need to change a single thing when offensively or defensively for that matter. They annihilated San Francisco in the divisional round. Even like special teams played a huge factor in that. And then special teams played another huge factor in the NFC title game. I know they didn't really force a fumble on that punt on the return by the Rams, but they were able to capitalize and they scored on the next play with the touchdown pass to Jake Bobo. So Seattle, as long as you give the ball to JSN and K9 a lot in the Super Bowl, offensively you shouldn't struggle because we haven't really seen Seattle struggle all season long. I think their lowest point total for them scoring the entire year was that week 18 game against the Niners. They scored 13 points, but that was just an ugly defensive game from start to finish. And then their next closest is where they scored 18 points. Or no, they scored another 13 against the Niners. I guess the Niners held them to 13 points. I didn't realize that. But no, as long as they don't change anything on offense, they can just keep humming along. My thing I want to watch out for is everyone's talking about Seattle's defense, which rightfully so. Seattle's defense is very, very good. Not a whole lot of people are talking about New England's defense, and I know we could say the cupcake schedule allegations, which is a fair critique, but they are able to force a lot of turnovers. They forced, I think, 5 turnovers in the game against the Texans, forced a turnover against the Chargers. They forced 2 turnovers in the Broncos. This is a team that likes to force turnovers, get the ball back, win the turnover battle, which could be huge because Sam Darnold, while has played fantastic this year, does have 14 interceptions in the regular season. Not a terrible amount of interceptions, but it's not nothing. He throws a pass every once in a while where he gives you an opportunity to intercept the ball. So watching that for the New England's defense will be crucial for them. And then for New England to win, you guys mentioned it. If it's a 13-10 like defensive battle, I would find it hard to believe that Seattle loses this. It would have to be in the high 20s, low 30s for New England to win this. And they have the playmakers where they can make this a shootout. Ramondre Stevenson, some nice power back, and they can change it up with Travion Henderson. Out of the backfield, Stephon Diggs has been playing well. Mac Hollins has been given some spots. Kayshon Boutte has been playing remarkable in some opportunities. But that's really the only path I see that New England wins this. If this is a 27-31 ball game or a 28-34 touchdown in the last minute or so. And I know Drake is battling. I think he has a shoulder issue. I don't think it's like super severe, but it's not nothing. And same with Sam. Sam's got that oblique injury that he's probably going to be. All these guys are going to play for the Super Bowl, but it might hinder some performance for both guys. So that'll be something to watch. But for New England, I don't really see a scenario where this is a defensive slugfest like they have one in the playoffs thus far. Again, you guys mentioned that they played Jared Stidham, they played Justin Herbert, who is a notorious playoff bad performer, and they played CJ Stroud, who looked like he was pulling a Sam Darnold and seeing ghosts out there. So it's tough to really take into account the quarterbacks they face, but all that to say, this team does force turnovers, and Sam's prone to throwing a couple interceptions every once in a while. But yeah, I find it hard to believe that New England wins this in a lower scoring game. And then finally, we're gonna get into our Super Bowl picks, our official scores, and then who we have winning Super Bowl MVP. Braden, I'm gonna start with you. Who do you have winning this game, and who do you have winning Super Bowl MVP?
I think it's like a 75-25. I think that the Seahawks win this. Give me Seattle to win in a, let's go 21-13. Give me K9 or no, give me JSN as the Super Bowl MVP.
Okay. I think the last time we've seen a wide receiver win was Cup, right?
Yeah, that would make
sense.
sense. Yeah.
It's been Hurts, the Mahomes. Yep, Cup is the last one. So, Brock, what about you? Who's your Super Bowl pick, and who is winning Super Bowl MVP in your eyes?
The score is the thing I'm having an issue with, really. Because, like, I'm trying to decide if I really think there will be much scoring. Or if... Because I have Seattle winning. I'm trying to decide, though, if Seattle's offense is going to show up. Is the kind of thing I'm trying to debate upon. And there's not many games that finish under 37 points in Super Bowl history. I feel like for some reason I'm wanting to go 20-17. Like, I'm not sure why I'm leaning towards that, and I feel like that's like really dumb to go that route. But I'm definitely thinking it's going to be like a 3-point win, but low scoring. So like 20-17, 23-20, something like that. But I'll stick 20-17. Give me Seattle to win it, and then give me anyone on the Seattle defense to win Super Bowl MVP. Just anyone. Just because I don't know. It's really hard to predict like a specific defensive player to win Super Bowl MVP. So just give me a defensive player for them, whether it's sacks, whether it's they force 2 interceptions, a pick 6. I mean, heck, a pick 6 and a 20-17 Super Bowl almost solidifies you as a Super Bowl MVP frontrunner for sure.
Reek Woolen with a 2-game swing from absolute hell. Goes from almost getting cut on the spot in a win to
That'd
Super Bowl
awesome.
MVP.
But yeah, that
pick 6 to win it.
So yeah, 20-17. Give me a Seattle defensive player to win the MVP, and Seattle wins the Super Bowl.
You both have Seattle. Interesting. Brock, you mentioned you have a defensive player winning Super Bowl MVP. Since 2000, 4 different defensive players have won Super Bowl MVP. Those being Von Miller, Malcolm Smith, Dexter Jackson, and Ray Lewis. So it's not uncommon.
Malcolm Butler didn't get it.
No, and
I know
Super
it's
Bowl,
not like I guess like the
Brady
MVP is
won that
over. It's over stats, not necessarily like one play. I guess that's sorry.
No, you're good. But Brady won the
Yep.
Malcolm Butler interception one. I, for whatever reason, I think I like New England. And it's not just to go and spite out of you two. I just feel like Seattle has gotten so much praise, so much hype. And it's not that they haven't deserved it because they played awesome this year, but everyone's been poo-pooing on New England, it seems like. And I feel like, I don't know, I feel like Drake May is going to, like Braden said, show why he should have won the MVP instead of Stafford. Uh, I expect a big Drake May performance. Give me 31 to 24 New England with Drake May taking home the Super Bowl MVP. And again, I'm not super confident in that pick, but I just feel like too much of the love is on Seattle right now. And while New England has flaws, New England has that game changer at quarterback. I believe in Drake May. So give me the Patriots.